right, continuing questions from college students. This one is about talking to people. What is the best way to approach someone you are talking to about abortion that continues to circle back to their initial argument? How do you try and have a meaningful conversation with them if they don't take your points into consideration? Number one, I would say I try to make an effort of narrating the conversation. I learned this from Scott Klusendorf. The idea of narrating the conversation. What that means is that as you make points, we return back and identify the points that were made. You said this, I said this in response. And that does two things. Number one, it keeps us progressing through the conversation so that we're not just saying the same things back and forth to each other. The other thing that it does is that it gives you the opportunity to say back to them what they have said to you so that you can clarify any mistakes that you have made in hearing them. It makes you listen, which is what we need to be. We need very good listeners. Respond to the points that they're making, not what we think they believe. So I say, does that accurately represent your view in our conversation? They can clarify their mistakes. If they say, yes, that's what we're saying. Oftentimes they look, by the way, they can look very surprised. I was talking to a young lady at University of Georgia one time, and she kept insisting that I didn't understand her view. And so I repeated her view back to her as she'd expressed it to me. I said, is that what you believe? And she said, yeah, that's exactly what I believe. I said, okay, we just disagree. It's not that I don't understand what you're saying, nor is it that if you say it to me one more time, am I finally going to hear it and say, oh, I finally understand what you're saying and I agree with you. I understand what you're saying, I just disagree with you. And I'm saying these things to you in response, so let's stay point by point. So and even narrating it back to them can help them change their minds. I will say this as well. It is perfectly acceptable when you have made your point and they have made their point, and you narrate the conversation and you realize that we both have exhausted all of the information that we have to share on this subject matter, to say to somebody, and I do this often, I understand your view. I think I have expressed my view clearly. If you have questions about something I have said, now is the time to ask them. But there's no reason for you and I to keep saying the same things to each other over and over again. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm just going to ask you to think about what I've said. And I'm going to think about what you said. And thank you for this respectful opportunity for dialogue on this issue. You're not going to end most conversations convincing the person that you're talking to that they were wrong. And that shouldn't be your goal. Your goal should be to make sure that they know that they were listened to and that you offered substantive responses to what they said, to their criticisms of your view. And once everybody's heard each other, just say goodbye.